thank you for us.
You didn't tell me that we had a grandchild.
Didn't mature early. Well, so is this baby maturing early? Whoa, it's getting heavy. Whoa. Whoa! This baby has Benjamin Button. Or Jack, I don't know, whatever movie. Son.
Dad? You left me and Mom.
Yes, and as you can see, our son has no accent like our mother.
Yeah.
On the first Friday of each month, Austin's first all-Asian improv troupe performs family-style comedy at Fallout Theater. Y'all We Asian was founded in 2017 by actor and stand-up comedian Yola Liu.
So I am one of the co-founders of Y'all We Asian. The other co-founder, her name is Kim Trand. We came together because we were actually in an acting class together, and we were like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a Asian American showcase, like a comedy showcase in town, which we didn't see very much of, like for a comedy showcase. And then so we kind of just like reached out to other Asian improvisers to see if we wanted to do like a mashup together, and then did the show. And then the show was like wildly successful. It like sold out within less than a day. Like it would just like gathered so much traction. And then this one other community member, her name is Christine Hong, and she reached out to Kim and I and was like, you know, you should make Y'all We Asian, which is what we called the show actually. It was called Y'all We Asian Presents. She was saying that we should do Y'all We Asian as an actual improv troupe. So we thought like, oh, that could actually be really fun because we didn't really see any other like all Asian improv troupes.
I would say the big difference here is that we, as performers, there are more opportunities for stage time. And that may sound weird, but if you go to a big city like LA or Chicago, as a struggling actor, you're wanting to play to get better or wanting to just get on stage to perform more. You don't even get those opportunities whatsoever, right? Here in Austin, it's still a growing scene, so there are still those opportunities. I would say currently, that's kind of what makes us stand apart, is the ability for the chance to perform, right? Because at the end of the day, that's all we want, right? It's not about, hey, I got in front of this agent or whatever. It's just like, hey, I want to perform, and if I'm in LA and I can't perform, then like, that's really, killing me.
Improv shows begin with a performer asking an open-ended question to the audience.
Hi everyone, we are Y'all We Asian, and we're so excited to make some stuff up for you. To get started, we need your help. Someone give us a word associated with the holiday. Any word.
Cheer.
Chex Mix? Or cheer, Chex Mix. How on the show?
Merry.
Mistletoe. La la. How do you feel? How do you feel? Good. All right. When the lights come up.
The audience suggestion spurs the next hour of comedy. To keep their audience engaged, improv performers must be able to come up with on-the-spot dialogue and have excellent delivery that matches the comedic tone of their fellow performers. To prepare for their shows, Y'all We Asian hosts weekly practice sessions where they run through various scenes and give each other critiques.
Let's have you guys now not even focus on that. Just do a regular 3-line scene, but I want to see scenes that start in the middle of a scene, right? So start each scene in the middle of whatever is going on for that particular scene. Does that make sense?
The close bond the cast shares with one another helps them overcome their anxious feelings before performing live.
I still definitely get nervous, but there's things I do that I guess are like pre-ritual that I have to do before a show still. I read through these notes that they've given to me before on my birthday to just like kind of remind myself of things to do. And then and then the final thing that I think, which I love about improv too, is just when we say like, I've got your back, like that final thing right before we go on stage, kind of like then brings everything back down.
There's a zen to it. There's like a kind of a mindfulness practice to it that you have to go into these shows without expectation.
In my early days of classes, like I tanked hard, just kind of like blanking out on stage and like really getting worried about saying something funny. Some of my teachers just helped me through that, where like just say something. I think what it matters is the trust with each other that you have. That improv is great in that you have each other's back.
Whenever we get that first laugh, that's when it just feels really good.
Cast member Jisoo described his experience performing comedy as an Asian American prior to joining Y'all We Asian.
I've never felt typecasted by my team, right, that I'm in. It's honestly, a lot of times it'll unfortunately be like the audience, right, who's like, I performed a few times and I've had drunk people like yell at me, hey, do The Hangover. And I was like, what do you mean do The Hangover? Like do the whole movie? No, they were saying, no, play Ken Jeong. And I was like, I don't know what you want me to do here. I've never been able to talk about my culture on stage because it's just not something that either A, they understand or inherently just are on board to do. Well, for those particular groups. This was like 10 years ago, right? So it's been a long time. I would say now more so, I'm able to do scenes that maybe are more reflective of my upbringing or my culture, and people would understand.
Many of Y'all We Asian's cast members had prior experience performing before joining their troupe. They shared their advice for aspiring comedians.
My advice would be just do it, right? That's kind of the best thing to do. A lot of the times, you know, you might have an idea of what you are as a comedian, which is fine, but like, realize it's a journey, right? You're gonna evolve, and you should evolve, right? If you're still doing the comedy you did the first day, 10 years later, you're probably not learning from that experience.
Everybody has like a funny story, and you could use that on stage, and you tell the funny story, you listen to where you get the laughs, take that back, and then you expand on the parts that you got laughs for, and then that's how you start building your set for like a stand-up set.
In general, I try to make improv a priority. I do have a full-time job, but I try to set some time aside. This helps me kind of get the stress out from the regular job and just to have some me time and have some creative outlet in a way.
I'm really happy that I have this opportunity to be creative because I didn't realize that until coming back from our first show from the pandemic. And like doing it together, and I was like, kind of like what Jesus said, the reason he would drive for those 5 hours. I need this kind of like outlet to feel better.